231 PL 1975. In addition to the publishing of the annual meeting schedule, electronic notice was provided on May 14, 2021 to the local source and Star Ledger, noting that the meeting would be conducted through the Ring Central program and containing information on how to access the meeting. The same information was posted on the city's website, Linden TV, the bulletin board, and the front door of City Hall. Copies of the agenda, finance report, and personnel reports are also posted on the city's website and Linden TV for the public. This meeting is now called to order. Mr. Clerk, can you please conduct the prayer and flag salute?
God of the universe, look thou with favor upon these here assembled, and bestow thy guidance upon the members of the governing body in their deliberations. This we ask in thy name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Justice for all.
Members of the public who may be attending are on mute until the public hearing on ordinances or the public comment portion of the meeting. If you wish to be recognized, please use the raised hand icon in the program to identify yourself. You will then give your name and address as at any council meeting. Failure to do so will result in your being muted and not recognized further. If you are registered more than once, you will only be recognized to speak one time under your first registration, as with any council meeting. When public comment is open, the ability to register will be closed. Mr. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Mrs. Ormond?
Here.
Javik? Here. Caldwell?
Present.
Mohammed?
Present.
Cosby? Ms. Cosby?
I'm here.
Roman? Yes,
Yes.
now we can. Mr. Roman?
Ian?
Mr. Roman? Strano?
Here.
Blaine?
Here.
Medina?
Here.
Hickey?
Here.
Mrs. Yamakitis?
Here. Okay, can we have approval of the minutes of the April 20th, 2021 regular meeting?
Council President, I'll move for approval of the minutes for the April 20th, 21 regular meeting.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond? Mrs. Ormond?
Councilwoman, you're muted?
Yeah, you need to unmute yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
Hear me now? Yes.
Thank you. Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Cosby?
Yes.
Roman? Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mrs. Yamakitis?
Yes. Okay, we're now going to have a proclamation. The mayor is going to present a proclamation for Do Something Good for Your Neighbor Day. Mayor Armstead?
Hold the press, hold on. Do something good for your neighbor. You hear? Oh, man. We're gonna have a proclamation.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure, who you doing? Yeah. Well, yeah. That you want. Okay.
Mayor Councilman Mohammed needs to mute also.
All right, thank you, Council President.
Yes, sir.
How's that, Council? Good, great.
Are you muted, Councilman Muhammad? I think you're
I'm
muted, sir.
muted. You must not be muted.
No, I can't be muted because I'm going to speak.
You have to mute your computer out, the little sound on your computer. On your computer, yeah.
You have to mute.
I'm muted.
You're not muted because I can hear you.
Muted.
If you're in the same room, you're gonna hear him. As long as his computer has the sound bar with an X on it, he should be okay. And as long as he's not signed on the phone either, you're not gonna hear the echo.
Can you hear me?
Sir.
We can hear you.
I'm still hearing that, getting that revive.
I mean, I put this, you know what I do?
Mayor,
Just
Charlie's saying he's too close to you in there.
Yeah, I think we're having some technical difficulties here.
Put this in here.
just close your computer
Because
for now.
now you're good.
Okay, we're good?
Yeah, huh?
I don't hear.
We're good. Mayor, you need to unmute now. Mayor? Mayor Armstead?
Unmute yourself.
Mayor Armstead? Let me text Jerry. Is he in there?
Yes, he was one who came to get the proclamation and for.
Mayor is muted. Tell him to unmute himself and reread it. Let's hope. Mayor Armstead, you're muted.
Okay, I was muted. I'm going to have to reread it again.
Yes.
Okay, once again, I'm going to read a proclamation, Do Something Good for Your Neighbor Day. And it's whereas Do Something Good for Your Neighbor Day is a nationwide effort observed in thousands of cities across the United States to celebrate neighborly love and kindness. And whereas the vision of Do Something Good for Your Neighbor Day is for millions of people to show selfless love, compassion, acts of charity towards our fellow neighbors. And whereas in May 2009, founder Mr. Star Valentino began this day in Atlanta, Georgia. He created a grassroots movement in an effort to encourage and inspire people to spread acts of kindness. If there was ever a time to do something good for your neighbor, it would be now during this COVID-19 pandemic. Whereas with self-isolation practices still underway, people are experiencing numerous problems that are related to being stuck at home and not being able to socialize and visit family friends. It is why the founder is of the belief that we must use this time to come together as a nation, which starts as a ripple effect through our immediate neighborhoods. And whereas Do Something Good for Your Neighbor Day will strengthen social bonds and values for all, will invite all humanity to come together and challenge each other to be our very best. And now therefore be resolved that I, Derek Armstead, Mayor of the City of Linden, declares May 16th to be Do Something Good for Your Neighbor Day. I encourage all residents of Linden to support and participate in spreading random acts of kindness throughout all our neighborhoods within our community. And it's signed by myself, Derek Armstead, Mayor of the great city of Linden. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, we're now going to move on to ordinances on hearing.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, we're going to start with ordinance 6521.
Bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $129,800 for the acquisition of various items of capital equipment for the fire department, authorizing the issuance of $123,310 bonds or notes of the city for financing part of the appropriation.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Please use your raised hand icon. Okay, seeing none, could we have a motion, please?
As council president, I move to close the public hearing of ordinance number 65-21. Move for approval and request a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond,
Yes.
Javik,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Mohammed, Mr. Mohammed,
yes,
Crosby,
Yes.
Strano,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Medina,
yes,
Hickey,
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes. Okay, ordinance 6522.
Bond ordinance authorizing the resurfacing of various streets in and for the city of Linden, appropriating $4,400,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $4,180,000 in bonds or notes to finance part of the cost thereof.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Please use your raised hand icon. Okay, seeing none, could we have a motion, please?
As council president, I move to close the public hearing of ordinance number 65-22. Move for approval and request a second.
second,
Mrs. Ormond,
Yes.
Javik,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Mohammed,
yes,
Crosby,
Yes.
Strano,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Medina,
yes,
Hickey,
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes. Ordinance 6523.
Bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $330,000 for the replacement of the roof at the JTG Recreation Center for the city of Linden and authorizing the issuance of $313,500 in bonds or notes of the city for financing part of the appropriation.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Please use your raised hand icon. Seeing none, could we have a motion, please?
I make a motion to move ordinance 6523 forward. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Mrs. Ormond,
Yes.
Javik,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Mohammed,
yes,
Crosby,
Yes.
Strano,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Medina,
yes,
Hickey,
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes. Ordinance 6524.
An ordinance of the city of Linden adopting a redevelopment plan entitled Redevelopment Plan Block 513, Lot 1.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Please use your raised hand icon. Seeing none, could we have a motion, please?
Council President, I'd like to make a motion to close the hearing on ordinance 6524 and adopt it, and respectfully ask for a second, please.
Second,
Mrs. Ormond,
Yes.
Javik,
Yes.
Caldwell,
yes.
Mohammed,
yes,
Crosby. Mrs. Crosby,
Said no.
Strano,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Medina,
yes,
Hickey,
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes. Okay, we'll now move on to consent agenda items. Numbers 1 through 5, all items are listed with asterisks, are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a council member so requests. Okay, does any council member wish to remove an item?
Make a motion.
Okay, can we have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion for the approval of consent agenda items numbers 1 to 5 and ask for a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond,
Yes.
Javik,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Mohammed,
yes,
Crosby,
Yes.
Strano,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Medina,
yes,
Hickey,
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes. Okay. We'll now move on to committee reports and comments from members of the governing body. Okay, we're going to start with Councilwoman Ormond, First Ward.
Thank you, Council President. I'm going to start off with my budget review and finance report, followed by my Division of Transportation and Parking, and then with information that's going on with my ward. So for May 18th, approval is requested for the following finance actions. Number 1, the payment of bills totaling $1,683,764.58. Bills have been signed by the mayor, council president, and the finance chairwoman, and a detailed check register and vouchers are on file in the city clerk's office. We're in receipt of the investments made by the city treasurer for the month of April at the rate of 0.1010%. I move for approval and ask for a second, please.
Second,
Mrs. Ormond,
Yes.
Javik,
Yes.
Caldwell,
yes.
Mohammed,
yes,
Crosby,
No.
Strano,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
I know,
Medina,
yes,
Hickey,
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes.
Okay, I hereby submit the monthly financial report from the Division of Transportation and Parking for the month of April 2021. This report includes collection of on and off-street parking meters, railroad parking lots, railroad parking permits, and merchant parking permits. The Trenton side collections, $726. The New York side collections, $564.25. Railroad credit card transactions, $11,246.52. Railroad permits, $0. Online railroad permits, $2,406. Parking meter collections, $12,341. Merchant permits, $107, for a grand total of $27,390.77. This is submitted by the Traffic Maintenance Supervisor, Tyrone L. Gibbons. Okay, so now for my ward report. I want to lead with my report talking about a traffic study which is going to be going on Keep Street. Many of the residents have received a personal visit from the police department. They have knocked on the doors asking their preference pertaining to whether or not they would prefer a one-way street or a dead-end street. Just please reach out to me with your concerns. Any change in traffic pattern is put under a careful consideration and a very, very detailed thought process. But we do take your comments and your opinions very seriously. I need your data. If you're finding out that a particular hour of the day is more problematic with traffic flowing through that particular street, please let me know, because I'm not in favor of changing a whole entire traffic pattern because 1 hour or 2 hours of the day seem to be problematic. I'd rather really focus on changing a pattern if it's an ongoing process for multiple hours throughout the day. But once again, I need your input, and you know how to reach out to me. The warm weather is not approaching, but the warm weather is here. I just want to make a couple of points. Slow down. I can't say it any other way, but just slow down. We have Gessner Street, DeWitt Street, Curtis Street, Gibbon Street, Academy Terrace. So many of our streets don't have stop signs sporadically spread. So people are using it for the Indy 500. You are going to hit a child. Please be careful and make sure that you're paying attention to the children who are riding bikes, children who are playing out on their front lawns, who may accidentally toss the ball out there. We have to be very careful. And then on the flip side, parents, please teach your children bike safety. Please teach your children bike safety. Let them know that it is critical that they wear their helmets and that they pay attention to all of the street signs and the laws that govern our city. The next thing on the agenda that I would like to talk about is that the warm weather also brings out pets and the pet parents. We have an ordinance stating that you must clean up after your dog. That means you should carry a bag. People have video cameras, and I'm encouraging you, if you catch somebody not curbing their dog or cleaning up behind their dog, to please report that to me and to our police department. There is up to a $2,000 fine for people who do not clean up after their dogs. I actually caught someone right on the side of my house, and it breaks my heart when a resident wants to stop and talk to me with their children, and their children cannot get out of the car to talk to me because I have to be concerned about whether or not a dog actually went to the bathroom on the side of my house. The next concern is grass. It is up to you, the homeowner, to make sure that your grass is cut because we have a beautiful neighborhood, and it is important that our neighborhood stays beautiful. We're not going to really go crazy, after a rainstorm and your grass grows a little bit, but please make sure that your grass is cut on a frequent basis. We have a lot of new people that are moving into our community that have not moved into the houses yet. If you see that their lawns are overgrown, please call me and let me know. I will be more than glad to reach out to other members of the community to contact the new homeowner so that we can take care of the property. No need to call the Board of Health. It's a 30-day process. It's a 30-day process for cleaning or getting lawns cut. Let's see, garbage and debris. Our street sweepers will pick up lots of the debris that is on the streets, but they don't pick up soda cans, they don't pick up bags, they don't pick up a lot of the large items. So if you see something outside of your house, please pick it up. Please don't wait until the following week for the street sweeper to come. This is your property. Please keep your property beautiful. Okay. Also, part of our ward has a bulk pickup day on Wednesday.
She muted herself.
Muted.
Councilwoman, you're muted.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
What was the last thing that you heard?
Bulk pickup, and your time is up. The additional
Okay,
time.
I just need about another minute and a half, please. Okay, bulk pickup is for District 11. That is for the Wheatsheaf, Washington, Clark Street, Seymour, the east side of Gibbons and Curtis Street for this Wednesday. Please have your bulk items out. And also the last thing that I would like to mention, or one of the last things, is our yard sale this weekend. Please, the yard sale for the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd ward is this weekend, rain date, the 1st weekend of June. Please feel free to bring your items out. There is no permit fee, it's being waived. And then last but not least, I want to just thank the mayor for bringing up the do something good for your neighbor, because one of the things that I constantly preach is being neighborly. If you see that your neighbor has not pulled their garbage can back, they may not be home. Please pull it back for them. Be kind, be compassionate, be considerate. We are all different in our cultures and in our religions, but one of the things I can say is that deep down inside, we are the same when it comes to what we want for our families and what we want for our community. So thank you, Mayor Armstead, for bringing to light, do something good for your neighbor. That ends my report.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Ormond. Okay, Councilman Javik?
Thank you, Council President. As chairman of the Fire Committee, the Fire Prevention Bureau collected the following monies during the month of April 2021. $6,381.53. In regards to the Linden Fire Department ambulance billing, the amount of $60,103.45 for April 2021 have been added to the total deposits for 2021, totaling $244,777.33. Good evening. Well, continuing with our fire department, we have a new ambulance coming in July and a new fire engine being built and customized to city specifications. Our junior fire academy is still open for recruits, primarily 7th and 8th graders. The program will run from June 28th to July 2nd. You can go to our city website to apply, or Firehouse number 1 at 302 South Wood Avenue. As a liaison to the Board of Health, I would like to thank and compliment Vivian Lamb, a consultant we have brought on, who through her skill set is revamping the program. Additionally, I would like to thank all our volunteers at OEM. This is the emergency management. They are the support mechanism of our city, and they're under-recognized. So I'd like to recognize them at this time. In the second ward, our Linden Station apartments on West Elizabeth Avenue are moving along. On completion, this building will have 146 one-bedroom apartments, 88 two-bedroom units, and 292 parking spaces, and contain 4,500 square feet of retail space. We're hopeful of an opening by mid to end June. Lexington Dog Park now has a scheduled date for fence installation, and that is July 26th. Also, at Brook and Knopf Streets, the anticipated corner park will be cleared, cut, trimmed starting tomorrow. Also, many streets in my ward have been now paved. Striping is ongoing. We are working on additional school signage and striping that we will leave the last street to be done, West Elm Street, which is scheduled already. So let's all remember quality of life issues. We're all neighbors. Please be vigilant about cleaning up after your dog. And with the perfect weather, every grass is at some point it needs to be cut. So don't let a violation reminder come in the mail. So enjoy the coming summer. Things are getting back to normal. Be safe, be healthy, be responsible. You reached at 908-494-4608 or email me at bjavik@linden-newjersey.org. City updates, go to our City of Linden website or visit me on Facebook at 71 Barry Javik. Council President, end of report.
Thank you, Councilman Javik. Councilwoman Caldwell.
Thank you, Council President. Greetings, neighbors in the third ward. For my code and construction report, 234 certificates were processed and generated, and it generated $70,673 for the month of April 2021. For the IT committee, there's been some fictitious emails, and IT are being very aggressive with seeking what's happening, and they're seeking outside counsel. I want to thank Charlie Crane and Lieutenant Sanchez for being on top of that. The fourth ward cameras, the project is moving along. They're working, engineers working with the vendor. Mitch Humphrey will be implemented for code and construction. The next steps we'll have code and construction trained on Mitch Humphrey. The G Suite for the city of Linden is moving forward. The next departments will be law and engineering. They ordered 15 more laptops. And I want to let the residents of the Third Ward know I am aware of the disturbance on Washington Avenue. We are working to try to rectify the issue, and we are concerned about your quality of life. That is important to me. We are working on that issue. There is a predator at Lawson Park. I want to thank the chief of police, the police department, the mayor, for making sure that there are police presence there to make sure that our children are safe. Thank you so much. I want to thank DPW, Shane Gillette, David Martinez, Jerry Bishop, Giles, Reggie Webb, and Roxy Billups for always being responsive and helpful. They are all assets to the city of Linden, and I appreciate them. Neighbors, if you see any lights or any issues while the utility companies are working in our ward, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. Bulk cleanup is tomorrow. The Third Ward garage sale is on Saturday and Sunday. The Pfizer vaccine will be given to Linden residents at the PAL in the Third Ward from the hours of 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Friday. Thank you, Mayor, for moving this forward. We appreciate you. Stay safe and keep masks up. If you need me, my number is 908-274-1307. My email is mcaldwell@linden-newjersey.org or thirdwardfeedback@gmail.com. Remember to be kind to your neighbors, and thank you for talking about being kind to your neighbors. It makes a difference. A good neighbor is a priceless treasure. And remember, Councilwoman Caldwell is here to be a part of the solution and not the problem. Have a good night. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Mohammed?
Thank you, Council President. Fourth Ward report firstly. McKenna's and Lincoln Street, the issue of installing speed bumps has been brought up by a concerned constituent. Lieutenant Gunther has started a study on the traffic issue. And regarding speeding, if installation is necessary, once I receive update, I will keep you informed. Camera installation. We're completing agreement between PSE&G and Verizon for security cameras installation because they own the utility poles. We're looking to install the cameras on the Fourth Ward. Once all agreements have been approved and signed, construction will begin. Food distribution. Thank you, Mayor Armstead, for distributing food to the residents of the Fourth Ward. If they may need more food, reach out to me via text at 908-463-4843. Dog waste. City to post signage for dog waste pickup. Vaccination claims on May 21st and May 27th. Mayor Armstead, along with the Super Health Pro Pharmacy, will be hosting a COVID-19 vaccination clinic at the Lincoln PAL 400 Maple Avenue here in the city of Linden, New Jersey. Fourth Ward Park. I've been monitoring the work being done at the Fourth Ward Park and look forward to the clear acrylic blackboard with breakaway rims and the newly painted lined basketball court. There has been a delay in installing the rims. Although we already purchased them, we couldn't install them because of the cement columns in the Fourth Ward Park. Our welding department is currently fabricating brackets that will allow us to make the installation. Construction. I apologize for all the infrastructure repairs in the Fourth Ward done by utility companies such as Elizabeth Town and Gas, New Jersey American Water Company, and PSE&G. I thank you for your patience and once again do apologize. Once again, anyone in need of food baskets, please let me know. I can be reached at A. Mohammed at Linden-New Jersey-org, or I can be reached at 908-463-4843. Council President, I may need 2 minutes. The Broad Street, Bauer Street paving from Middlesex Street to East St. George Avenue, part of the year 46-2021 Union County Community Development Resurfacing Project. A contract has been awarded and executed. We're in the process of scheduling a pre-construction meeting, at which time we will receive a tentative schedule for the project. Please note, this project has a completion date of August 31st, 2021, the latest. So I anticipate the work to be done in June, July, August. These are two other streets associated with this great project. Despite my disagreement with the mayor, and painfully I have to make this move for my own personal protection of my own property, I have decided to make a motion today for the release of the Scottier report. I request that this be made public. It was paid for by the taxpayers' dollars. Furthermore, in the spirit of transparency, the public has a right of the grave abuse of those tax dollars. While I'm appalled by the findings of the report, I am confident that it will deter further abuse of the public trust. The credentials of the law firm that conducted that investigation are impeccable, comprised of former U.S. attorneys, lending serious credibility to their findings. It is shameful that former Senator Wayne Bryant served prison time for similar abuse, while the Senator, Mr. Scottier, remains the chairman of both the Senate Judiciary Committee and the Union County Democratic Party. This points to a gross racial inequality. Mr. Scottier is suing the mayor, myself, and the city of Linden, several members of the council for addressing those abuses. I am ashamed and appalled that one will be threatened with the loss of their property because they have decided to become a citizen and a councilman. They say in the law, truth is defense. Well, it's time that the public know the truth. I move that the Scottier report be released so I can defend myself, and I ask for a second to my motion.
Second.
This is hilarious. Discussion?
Councilwoman Cosby?
So while I find this amusing, I want to just say, if this report is released, then I insist that the 3-year report and investigation that was lodged against me by 2 city employees is also published so that you can see the witch hunt that I had to endure for almost 4 years. That's all I'm going to say.
A motion on the floor.
Okay, Councilman Roman?
Thank you, Council President. Was this discussed previously, or is this just being thrown out there as a theatrical move in the middle of a council meeting that is the city's business, but not discussed previously until this moment live? Why was this not discussed? Why was this not discussed at all?
It was
That's how they do.
Councilwoman Cosby, you do not have the floor. Councilman Roman, it was this is Councilman Muhammad decided during his report to bring this up.
Yes, right. So this was not discussed.
There is a motion on the floor.
No, Council President, point of order. Council President, point of order.
We're having a discussion right now, Councilman Muhammad. Councilman,
yes, the discussion is allowed to happen. We discussed this previously in executive session, and you are now asking for this you're doing this theatrical move, and it's not Alfred Muhammad. I mean, anyone with any sort of intelligence realized that the whole thing was written for him, because he's never been able to put out a report quite like that one previously.
Councilman
Council, I'm not going to take your insult.
Councilman Muhammad.
I wasn't listen, Councilman Muhammad, I apologize. Councilman Muhammad, I wasn't meaning to insult you. I apologize if you took it that way. I was just stating a blatant fact.
There's a motion on the floor. Discuss the motion and let's proceed.
Councilman Muhammad, Councilman Roman has the floor. We're in the middle of a discussion right now.
Thank you. Right. So we've had thorough discussions in executive session. We last month unanimously agreed not to release this report to anyone. That way, there wouldn't be any conjecture about who released it or who talked about it or whatnot. We did that for the taxpayers so that the taxpayers would not become liable, financially liable, when this goes and becomes a huge civil lawsuit. And instead now, you guys are now first motioning and seconding a release, which could really come to backfire, not on anyone particularly politically, but the taxpayers who pay the bills at the end of the day. This is a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, and you guys are taking another political stab. I don't want any part of it. We didn't discuss this prior. I have no knowledge of this going on. No, neither does anyone else in this council. So I just want the public to know that this is theatrics at its best, and I will yield the rest of my time
Council
back to the
President, may I be heard?
They know, John, they know.
I'm going to ask all the council to wait to be acknowledged by the chair. Next up is Councilwoman Hickey.
Thank you, Council President. I do have to agree with some of the remarks that Councilman Roman just made, considering the fact that we didn't discuss this at all last night. Last month, this was discussed in great detail. In fact, we were told that if we wanted to see the report, you know, we agreed that we would go to the attorney's office. I have to agree, with all due respect, Councilman Mohammed, that was written for you. Election time is coming. I don't understand why this was brought up on the floor tonight. This is a big case, litigation, finances, you know, could be very big on this case. And I don't think it was appropriate for you to bring that up in your report tonight. I think I will tell you this right now. I don't want a part of this big political mess. I will be abstaining from this vote, but the writing is on the wall with the report that you read tonight regarding that report. I thought it was very inappropriate, and it's unfortunate that somebody wrote that for you. With that being said, this is a lot of drama, and we will certainly see in a few minutes by the votes how this played out and how this was part of the plan tonight. So I wish we would have discussed this last night in the appropriate manner. You had more than enough time, Councilman Mohammed, to bring that up last night to all of us in executive session like we did last month. I'm not playing the games anymore. This is ridiculous. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Councilman Javik.
Yes, Council President. I would just want to know, is Councilman Mohammed bringing this forward as a chairman of the ad hoc committee? And it was discussed amongst his ad hoc committee that dealt with this, and they're bringing it forth and asking from their opinion.
Councilman Mohammed?
Yes, I'm bringing it as a defendant that's been sued, as well as my capacity. I'm being sued in my capacity as the chairperson of the Municipal Investigation Committee. And it is personal. It's very personal. Anytime your property is at stake, that's a very personal. So this is nothing political. And to say I'm dumb, that's really, it is insulting. I can't write. You don't know anything about my background. To make those kinds of statements is just asinine. I would never say that about any of you. I don't question your ability. But I think it's time for us to vote on this now. Let's bring this matter to vote.
Okay.
So I can assume that this comes as chairman of your ad hoc committee. That's what.
Yes, it does. It does.
Discussed it with your members.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Ormond?
Yes, thank you. Unfortunately, I'm having some issues with my audio, so I wasn't able to hear a great portion of it, but I would have jumped in and seconded it in a heartbeat. Number one, for any of you council people that think that this is ridiculous, I beg to differ. People's houses and their personal property are at stake here. Councilwoman Hickey, would you like it if somebody literally was trying to take your home and your assets away from you? No, you wouldn't. So anything that Councilman Muhammad or any of this committee has to do to protect their assets, you should be humbling, bowing down and saying, do what you have to do to protect yourself. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a homeowner, and I would be raging like a total lunatic if somebody came after my personal assets. I would do everything to protect the roof that my husband and my children live in. And if you can't understand that, that's really sad, because you are a mother, you're a wife, and this could be you. Always remember, the shoe could always be on the other foot. So Councilman Muhammad and any member of this committee, you need to do what you have to do to protect your assets. If it means giving your attorney full disclosure, you give it to them. Because I can tell you one thing, if you lose your house, I'd be willing to bet you that none of these council people, including those who are opposed to it, are going to say, let me pay for rent for you, or let me bring you underneath my roof until you can find shelter because you've lost yours. We have to sit back and always remember, if the shoe was on the other foot, how would you want to be treated? Councilman Roman, I don't know what you have to lose, but I'm telling you, it is not political. It's all about maintaining your life and what you own. I would be doing the same thing if somebody was capable of yanking the rug from underneath me and taking the roof from underneath my children's head or my husband's, who I own property jointly with him. I would be fighting to the last breath. They would have to probably nail the coffin and put me 6 feet under before I would stop. So let's not sit back and say this political. If you have any type of compassion or even common sense, you know it's all about the assets that a person owns. If you own them, you would understand. That is all I have to say.
Okay, Councilwoman Cosby.
All of us are named in that lawsuit, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm a little perplexed as to why the city attorney is mute, like a mouse, like no words, because he told me I had to come to his office. I couldn't take pictures. I couldn't take notes on the report. All of a sudden, the councilman is going to ask that it be publicly disclosed. Let me tell you something. If this is going to be publicly disclosed, and I'll say it again, I demand that the report that was done by Nita Raval and whoever for 4 years, they investigated me and had me sitting on pins and needles, messed up my reputation, right? And didn't allow me to do anything in this city. You got the council people running around talking about I'm getting lawsuits, which was a lie. That needs to be published as well. If this goes public, they better publish the other one too.
Okay, Councilman Roman.
Thank you, Council President. Thank you, Council President. I understand that everyone here feels compassionately about the way that this has gone. Let this be spoken about, that this started with essentially a political battle, and you guys let characters that shouldn't have been lead the way on this, and they have led you down a path that is possibly litigious and full of litigation. You shouldn't blame. Now, I completely agree with Councilwoman Ormond. If someone's trying to take your livelihood, I mean, yeah, do what you have to do to defend yourself personally, but also don't put yourself in that situation by blindly following someone that may not have your best interest.
Sir, may I be heard?
No,
Councilman, let's finish it, and we're gonna.
Councilman, I'm
motion and a
speaking.
second on the floor. Okay, I'll come right back to you. Finish
Council
up your
President,
statement,
it's just
Councilman.
I want this on the record. Obviously, it's already on the record, but I want it further said. You guys did not discuss this after a thorough discussion in executive session. You guys asked us to see it. They want to see it because we were supposed to go run back, but we don't want anything in it. You know why? Because the few people that are going to abstain on this care about the taxpayers and care about that they're going to foot this bill. not Alfred Muhammad, not Derek Armstead, not Michelle Yamakutis, not Lisa Orman, or any other council person is going to foot the bill on this. The taxpayers are going to foot the bill on this. And if they find, if the JIF or whoever is involved finds that there was malfeasance and that this was done purposely, then the taxpayers are going to be on the hook for millions. And I don't want anything to do with it, which is why we said we don't want to see the report. Do what you have to do it, because you guys been up to the same game from the get. And I'm saying this one final time. You guys started this. This is your whole thing. I don't want anything to do with it. Councilwoman Hickey has already said how she feels about it. So leave us out of it completely. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman. You mentioned my name in it. I think the taxpayers have a right to know what went down. So the report speaks for itself, and that's all I'm gonna say. Councilwoman Ormond,
Yes, I just want to sit back.
please finalize this, and we have a motion and a second.
I'm going to finalize this real quickly. No one who wanted to bring out the things that happened, the dishonesty that was going on, should have to risk losing their house. Like I said, if you owned one, you would want to fight for the last breath in your body to make sure. I feel as though the report speaks for itself. We actually said we didn't want that report because we wanted to make sure that the stuff didn't leak. But now our lawyers, the lawyers of these people that are involved, need to defend them. Now, like I said, Councilman Roman, you're not going to sit up there and give shelter or anything to any of these defendants. And if their houses and their livelihood was not at stake, I would sit back and say it's not that big of a deal. But you know what? The law says that they are entitled to defend themselves. And guess what? If it means getting this report, they need it. We have to sit back and always stand on honesty and integrity. And when you're not showing up at work and getting paid for it, it's called simple dishonesty.
Then why didn't you guys say that in the back room?
Councilman Roman,
Executive session.
you're out of order.
It's dishonesty. And if you can't see it's dishonesty, it says a whole lot about you. That's what I have to say.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Mr. Bodek, will you please call a roll?
Woo-wee!
Councilwoman Cosby, you're out of order.
Mrs. Ormond,
Yes.
Javik,
As a recommendation of the chairman and his committee, yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Mohammed,
Yes.
Cosby,
I'm not voting on this.
Roman, Mr. Roman,
Meanwhile, they have 3 years, 4 years, all that money spent.
Councilwoman Cosby, you're out. Thank you. Anybody speaks out of order, please mute them.
I will not take part in this theatrical mess.
what's your vote, Councilman?
Councilman Roman, Mr. Bodek is.
I'm not voting.
Strano,
Abstention. Strano votes yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Medina,
I abstain.
Hickey,
Abstain.
Mrs. Yamakitis.
Yes. Councilman Mohammed, please continue with your report.
Yes, I'm muting myself.
Councilman Mohammed, you need to unmute. Councilman Mohammed, you're muted. Okay, gonna go on the mayor's microphone. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Council President. In concluding my report, I just wanted to say The purpose of this report is not some publicity stunt. And those who think I'm illiterate in the law probably should study me again because you don't know my background. Number two, I have an attorney and he has a right to know. I would be a fool to go with an attorney with no documents. I need the report. And the Cagley report exonerates me, shows that there's no ill intent. He's a former U.S. attorney, and I'm only reiterating what he has said. Therefore, I need the defense. Thank you, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman Muhammad. Okay, Councilwoman Cosby.
All right, my apologies before. I was talking about y'all, but I thought I was on mute the whole time, so I apologize for that. And I know I don't have enough votes, but I feel some kind of way that when I ask for the report to be published for the witch hunt against me for 4 straight years that the taxpayers paid for, nobody was inclined to help me defend my reputation. So when you talk about be kind to your neighbors, that's so disingenuous. I just don't understand why it's okay for 2 city employees, actually 3, to come from me because I'm only trying to do my job. And the things that I had asked to be done are now coming to fruition through other means. Sad. Anyway, here's my report. Good evening, everyone. I have no report from the Environmental Commission to date. No report from the Rent Leveling Board. Yes.
I'm being advised that you are Facebooking live. The council has not agreed to live stream this.
I don't care what they agreed to. We didn't agree to release the report either. Come on, let me finish my report, please.
Advised by our attorney to.
That what? The attorney didn't even say a word about this whole thing that just went down. Can I read my report or not?
But somehow he said that to her, right?
Can I read my report or not?
We're requesting you to stop Facebooking live and.
You're gonna tell me that somebody said your report? Let me just tell you something. Okay. I'm gonna continue my report. Thank you. In the 5th ward, I am compiling a list of areas that have been damaged by city trees. Currently or in the past and are in need of repair. If your sidewalk has been damaged, please let me know. Send me an email at rcosby@linden-nj.org or text 908-718-7933. Or if you need your tree trimmed as well. We have a new traffic pattern, which I've been reminding folks about for months. The change has gone into effect. East Baltimore is now a one-way from East St. George to Union, and Union is a 2-way street, so please be guided accordingly in that area of travel. Carolina Avenue.
Councilwoman, I've been advised you're out of order. Council did not agree to Facebook Live.
Let me tell you, you can't control what I do in my house.
Disconnect you from here.
You're gonna disconnect me from the meeting?
Wow, that's a no-no.
Well, I'll bring my behind up to City Hall. How about that and do it in your face? You want me to come up there and do it in your face?
Are you threatening me?
You don't want me to be on camera? I want to read my report. That's my right.
Mr. Antonelli?
Thank you, Council President. First of all,
There he is.
This is the first time I've been.
Councilman Roman, you're out of order.
Y'all are out of control tonight, bro.
Folks, I have to tell you, you know what? This is the first time I've been recognized this evening, but I got to tell you.
Any other time you say stuff?
Charlie,
Councilwoman, I have the floor. You asked several times why I haven't spoken. Now I'm speaking.
How many guys have?
I have the floor, and I'd appreciate it if you remain quiet. A couple things here. We have rules here, okay? All right? The motion that was just proffered by Councilman Muhammad was duly voted upon and passed, okay? You know, as far as Facebook and Live, we had this discussion before. Council has not voted to permit anybody to Facebook Live, okay? And the council president has asked you several times to stop Facebooking Live. No one's trying to stop you from providing your report, but you're also on Facebook Live, which is not permitted. So you have 2 options. Stop Facebook Live and you could continue with your report, or she's called you out of order and says if you don't, then she's going to disconnect you from the meeting.
So can I just respond to that? Because the council has not agreed that we could. Council has also not agreed that we could not. Okay, so I'm in my own home, right? And I'm holding a phone in my hand, right? Tell me what makes me out of order then, because you guys have something to hide. What's the problem? I just want to read the rest of my report.
Council President, may I respond?
Yes, you may, sir.
Thank you. This is a duly noticed meeting of the Linden City Council. The fact that we're virtual does not change the fact that we are in an open public meeting, okay? We have procedures that are followed. People could call in, people could do certain things to participate in our meeting, and they're doing that, all in full compliance with the law. The fact that you're home now, or I'm in my office, or the city clerk and the council president are in the planning board room, and everybody is not physically together, doesn't change our meeting procedures. So, it's for that reason, you wouldn't be able to Facebook Live now if we were in the council chambers. That it's no different, the fact that you're home, that doesn't change what's at issue here. So, look, it's up to you whether you want to comply with the council president's order, but I'm asking you to stop and comply with her order and continue with your report.
Councilwoman Cosby,
What?
we're asking you to please stop Facebooking Live and continue with your report.
So why do you want me to stop Facebooking Live? Because you don't want the public to know what's happening at the meeting. Is that it? You know what? I'm not beat. Let me just finish this, okay? I'm gonna finish reading my report. And
could I just?
Yes, Mr. Antonelli, I'm not standing here.
There was a resolution to vote to release the report. I don't know how that's not transparent.
Obviously something's very, controversial in it that must be.
it is, because you know what, Council President, I'm also a defendant.
And it's,
right?
it's going to be released, but I mean, to accuse.
Well, hold on a second.
So hold on.
Councilwoman Cosby, Mr. Antonelli has the floor right now.
He ain't saying nothing.
These members of council trying to hide something when a vote, a very serious vote to release.
Did you just say we were trying to hide something?
I don't know how that could be any more transparent as opposed to it being leaked. So I don't know.
So you're off topic, but while you're sitting here, how come you didn't release the Jessica Sheehy, Doreen Fritchie complaint that merited nothing, and she was trying to get $6,000 because she had a personal.
Councilwoman, please do not mention employees' names.
Don't do that. That was an investigation. I just want to read my report. That's all I want to do. Can I read my report or not?
And once you're on Facebook Live, I think the council.
Go check. Who's checking and reporting that I was on Facebook Live? I have turned it off. You know why? Because next month we're going to be in person, one way or the other. Can I finish?
Go ahead with your report.
Thank you. Goodness gracious. Woo! I am so proud and so grateful that some of the traffic on St. George's Avenue is going to be stopped when people want to cross the street. You know what? I got a move, so hold on a second. Can I? Finally, at the area of St. George's Avenue, East St. George's Avenue, and Caroline, there's a push to stop light. The pedestrians has to push the button to stop on either side of the street, and it's going to turn red for safe passage. There are still parts that needs to be installed per our engineering department, but they expect it to be up and functional in the coming weeks. I do need to correct my statement that I did make on Facebook that said that there was no cost to the city. The city actually has to pay 25%. And I just want everybody to witness that these people who are in collusion together are no longer visible on the screen. And so the city has to pay 25% for the stoplight. The borough of Roselle has to pay 25% for the stoplight. And the city's going to pick up the rest of the cost because this was into an already existing safety, a corridor safety project that they were doing. I'm going to give the unofficial minutes, but I'm not going to do that now. For the Shade Tree Commission, let's say, I'm gonna just, you can get that Shade Tree Commission report from the clerk. I want you to tune into my channel on Thursday to get the information about life insurance, because everybody dies, and I am regularly trying to give information about what's important and valuable information to the community, because I believe that knowledge is power. And if you want to go to get the link, you can go to rashana.com to do that. It's going to be on Thursday. Finally, I'm not visible because this is my protest on behalf of the general public, as is evident on how the vendors and meeting guests are allowed to be seen and heard when addressing the council. So too should the residents and members from the public. This is silly, and I think we should be seen, and we need to meet in person. Let's have the meetings at the promenade if you guys are also afraid. And that concludes my report. I'm very disappointed in the council president, and I'm going to send a letter to whomever. And at the end of the day, I want to know who's representing me. Do I need to hire an attorney also for this matter? That's a question that I want to answer to in public. That fake behind, worry about house. Pay your mortgage. You won't get.
Councilman Roman.
Thank you, Council President. Just give me a second here. I was.
Show.
Thank you, Council President. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Thank you, Council President. I just wanted to, I mean, a lot was said in the last 4th, 5th ward reports. I would like to get back to the business of the people, the taxpayers, and what they hired me for, which is to take care of their neighborhood. The one thing I will say is that there is a pretty easy way to, I don't know, see the trend that this has happened when all these theatrics happen. Is you expect an article tomorrow. My Central Jersey. What else do they use? Union News Daily, which is like the Antonelli Press, basically. And, you know, you'll see, you know, Linden Council votes to release blah. And that's what it'll be. It'll be on an article. It'll end up on, I grew up in Linden on Facebook, all the Facebook pages. It might end up in a newsletter sent to you by the city, $50,000 taxpayer newsletter, like it did last time. And then they removed it from the city website, acted like it wasn't part of the newsletter, but it was. Like, if you really follow citizens, new citizen, existing citizen, if you follow the trail, you're gonna realize that it's all one big game. I'm over the game. I want to cut your trees down and put new ones in place. So that's what I'm gonna get to right now. Trees are in, they're beautiful. Got a few on Linden Avenue, West Linden Avenue, got a few on Penn Place, Munsell. Since I came in, I've cut out 50 dead trees. We've got 1 or 2 left. I really want to shout out DPW for always taking care of me on that. So we got those in. The sidewalks, if you have sidewalks, I have not been using my sidewalk money. Please call me. Let me try to get your sidewalks done for you. I'd really like to do that. It's possible. So just give me a call, 908-494-5784. Wheeler Spray Park, there's a lot of conjecture about Wheeler Spray Park. So Wheeler Spray Park is in the process of hiring staff, as said, and they're hoping to be open by Memorial Day. There's a lot to go into starting up the pipes and getting everything going. Now remember, that spray park's been closed since before the pandemic. So you just got to make sure all the cylinders are firing before they can announce a release date. So give them some time. And if you follow me on Facebook or wherever, I will make sure that that you get noticed of that. So Wheeler Park has some issues going on right now. I'm aware of them, and I am going to get them taken care of. So I'm contacted county. I've given them a list of things that need to get done, and hopefully that'll get done for you guys very soon. And if you see anything else, call me. Let me know what you think is wrong with it, and I'll take care of it for you. Widening. So we did a lot. Finally, 10 years, 12 years later, we finally did the widening on Stiles and 1 and 9. It's finally finished. It's paved. I'll tell you what. Going down South Stiles towards 1 and 9. There's like 5 lanes there now. It's wide open. I think that we're really going to get ahead on the traffic on South Falls from now on. So I'm happy about that. They are currently widening the sidewalks on West Linden Avenue, which is again part of the process from 10 years ago when they agreed to this deal. So that is getting done currently. You'll see West Linden relighted, repaved, and restriped all the way from Styles to Wood Ave. And you also see Wood Ave widened a bit, repaved and relighted, and also a few other intersections around town. So again, that's ongoing. Be patient with the area if you can, because there's a lot of construction still going on. Dirt and the rubble at Hampton and Smith. I want to shout out the city employees who actually went out of their way. First city employee in 8 months that dirt and rubble has been sitting on Hampton and Smith and Pleasant, that actually went out of their way and try to get rid of that. I had been impassed and blocked and basically said, we can legally leave this rubble here, so beat it. And then I would get the BS response that they'd be gone, and the dirt would be gone in a week or two. It never was. So I appreciate the city making a move on that. And now I see that rubble finally disappearing after 6 months at least. So there's digging going on wells on Cedar Avenue behind Woodlawn. This is a NJDP thing. I have been on the line with them. They will get any reports, and any reports that happen will be given to the city. So everyone's worried like there's something back there. Well, whatever it is, we're going to get it because it's a public disclosure. So that report will be available, and I will be getting it soon enough whenever it's available. So the NJDP will keep us abreast of that. And I just want to, again, have everyone lock your cars, keep your eyes out in the neighborhood. There's a lot of new people living in the neighborhood. Some, you know, as Councilwoman Ormond and others had said, maybe some neighbors don't realize that, you know, they have to take their garbage out this day, or they have to put it back immediately, or they can't do it 3 days beforehand. Or maybe some people I've noticed that they think they can just put bulk trash out anytime in these new houses. So, you know, be polite, be kind to your neighbors. You know, don't do theatrical moves in the middle of the council meeting, but go and talk to them, knock on their door and talk to them face to face first. And we'll be a lot more neighborly that way. So, Council President, I appreciate the extra time, and that concludes my report. Have a great summer, everyone.
Thank you, Councilman Roman. Councilman Strano?
Good evening, Council President. I have the Personnel Committee report for May of 2021. I'm going to ask you to indulge me. I'm going to need a little bit extra time at the end of this report to complete my councilman's report.
Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Excuse me? Number one, the mayor's office is to approve the internship of Faith Ijepu effective June 7th of 2021 through August 31st of 2021 at the rate of $15 per hour, and that's not to exceed 35 hours per week. Number two is in the police department. A is the acceptance of the resignation not in good standing of police officer David Arake, effective April 26th of 2021. B is permission to hire 8 police officers from the current list effective June 1st, 2021, pending the successful completion of the background checks. 3 in the Department of Parks and Recreation is to approve the title change for Belinda McGee from Recreation Leader to Part-Time Clerk 1 at a rate of $18.98 per hour, effective May 16, 2021, not to exceed 25 hours per week. B is the approval of the seasonal list, which is on file in the clerk's office. C is rescinding the, I don't have the, who am I rescinding? Mr. Bodick, do you have that for C on the rescinding?
Andy Brisson, omnibus driver, recreation leader.
Okay, I've got it, right. And there was D. What was D on that, on the report?
Approval to post for the omnibus driver, recreational leader at the salary of $18 to $23 per hour.
Okay, all right, that was what I missed. C was snuck in between the old report and the new report. I just have the printout in front of me. In the engineering department, the appointment of Tyler Slavinsky to the position of engineering aide effective May 31st, 2021, and concluding no later than August 31st of 2021 at $15 an hour. And it's not to exceed 35 hours a week, and that's subject to the pre-employment requirements of the city. And B is the appointment of Robert Greeley Jr. To the position of engineering aide effective May 31st of 2021, concluding no later than August 31st of 2021 at $15 an hour, not to exceed 35 hours per week, subject to the pre-employment requirements of the city. In the construction code, A is the approval for the posting of a part-time fire subcode official statewide. 6, Personnel Division is approval of the FMLA NJFLA leaves on file in the Division of Personnel. 7, in the municipal court, A is to approve the salary correction of salary for Laura Lee Wade to $18.98 per hour. 8 is in community services. A, accepting the resignation not in good standing of Nicola Beceden effective May 4th of 2021. 9, the finance office, the approval of the provisional appointment of Daniel Sobolewski to the position of senior staff accountant effective May 19, 2021 at the annual salary of $55,000. I'm going to ask for any questions on the personnel report.
Council President.
Go ahead.
We no longer do questions. That's discussed in caucus, if you remember our council rules. Okay.
Yes, Council President. Thank you.
Excuse me. I'm asking for a second.
Mrs. Ormond,
Yes.
Javik,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Mohammed, Mr. Mohammed,
Yes.
Crosby, Roman,
Yes, Council President. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. I'm just going to abstain to 1A and yes to the rest. Thank you.
Strano, Blaine,
Yes.
Medina,
Yes.
Icky,
Yes.
Mrs. Yemekaitis.
Yes. Okay, go ahead, Councilman Strano.
Do I have the floor? Council President, do I have the floor?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
I thought I heard somebody talking over me. Okay, along the lines of personnel,
Did they get your vote?
take this
They didn't
moment
get my vote. No, that's.
as the,
Excuse me, Councilman Strano. Mayor Armstead, please mute. Okay. You're good.
Council.
I would like to place my vote.
Oh,
okay, I'm gonna try one more time, okay? I might need 5 minutes if this keeps up, though. I just want to add something to the, in the personnel part of the report. As you know, Joe Kroback is our supervising engineer. He's doing a heck of a job in the absence of Nick Pantino, along with Jerry Bishop, holding that department together. Joe's wife, Stephanie, as you know, is one of our nurses in the Board of Health, in our health department. They have 2 children, and their son, Joseph Jr., has just graduated from, get this right here. Phone went out. He graduated from the University of New Haven with a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. He graduated magna cum laude and received the Outstanding Student Award for Civil Engineering. In addition, he's already passed his Fundamentals of Engineering exam, which is the first part of becoming a professional engineer. I just want to congratulate Joe and Stephanie and Joseph Jr. He's worked in our engineering department as an aide as recently as last year. And I see this kid coming up in this world and doing some great things following in his father's footsteps. Just want to mention that. Second thing I wanted to mention, third thing I should say, is in celebration of Earth Day, we had met in the 7th Ward at all the rain gardens. Joe Kroback took the lead on this as well. Filled 66 employees, Nancy Sadlon, and many members of their staff, many members of our DPW staff. If I tried to name one, I would name them all, I would miss somebody. Also, our building and grounds participated, and they did we all got dirty. Councilman Javik was there as well with his significant other, Debbie, and a lot of people pitched in and did a really fantastic job. They spent the whole day there. It was quite impressive, and they did a great job. And Ed Blanner from the Enviroscapes was also there present, directing us of what to remove and what not to remove. And I want to thank everybody. It definitely made a big difference in the way these rain gardens appear. I also wanted to mention that the paving has concluded for South Style Street from where the highway intersection left off all the way to 21st Street. The striping is completed there. Southwood Avenue is almost at its completion. I believe they worked night and day on that project to get it done. I'm a little disappointed in the contractor. He really left a lot of asphalt on several of the new pavement, right where the new pavement is, almost obliterated the new crosswalk that we had put in at the end of the paving project on South Style Street into Lower Road. But I've been in contact with the engineering department. They've been in contact with Remington Vernick engineering firm, who's supposed to be overseeing this project. And they have a lot of cleaning up to do. I mean, I've been on a lot of paving jobs through my career, and I've never seen a mess like that. But just let the residents know that it didn't go unnoticed, and we're going to try to take care of it. And I think that's it for tonight. I think that's enough, and I appreciate the extra time, Council President. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Councilman Strano. Councilman Blaine?
Yes, good evening, everyone. As Chairman of Parks and Recreation, just like to let everyone know that things are somewhat getting back to normal. There's a bunch of stuff. Excuse me one second as I gather my notes here. Registration for soccer is taking place. The camp registration is going on. I just want to let people know there is a limited number of seats because in inclement weather and still under COVID restrictions, children would have to go inside. So because of the restrictions that they have going indoors, they have to limit the number of seats. So if anybody's wondering that, for all the seniors out there, that there still hasn't been a bus driver replaced yet in the city of Linden. That should be happening soon, but just to let you know, be patient. That's still in the works. Concert nights are coming back. That's always good news. In soccer, basketball, yoga, virtual classes, all of that's coming. And I'm glad to let everyone know that the summer concert series will start on Tuesday, June 1st. So please register and make sure you get a seat there. Vaccinations are taking place this Friday at the PAL building from 10 to 4. If you haven't been vaccinated, I encourage everyone to get vaccinated. Let's try to get back to some normalcy here. And the best way to do that is for all of us to get vaccinated so that we can gather without masks and have good times like we used to. Good news, the street sweeping machines have been fixed. They still haven't had them fully manned yet, but that's going to take place. So if you see that the street sweeper is not coming around in a timely manner, especially in the 8th Ward, just let me know. We'll just make a phone call. I've also contacted DP, let them know that East Baltimore Avenue needs to be on constant rotation with the cleaning because it gets a little messy over there at times, and we pay our taxes and we like that area clean. I also want to let the 8th Ward know that in walking in the parks on both sides of the 8th Ward by McGilvery and in over here, St. Mark's Park, I've noticed a number of drug paraphernalia on the ground. I've made DPW aware and the police department aware of what's going on there. So hopefully we'll see a lot of that cleaned up and we won't have the loitering as much. I understand that we all need to get out and get some fresh air, but we can't be in the park, especially where children are playing, just dropping just debris of such that, it's kind of insulting. I just want to make one note about the traffic that's coming out of the 8th Ward going into the 5th Ward on East Baltimore going to St. George. It's, you have to slow down because coming out as people zoom up that road going to St. George Avenue, which you can no longer go, it stops at that one block. And you have to come to a full stop because you have to be aware that's a two-way street coming into East Baltimore. So even if you're flying coming off of St. George going down East Baltimore, like you're going to Elizabeth Avenue, you have to be aware that that's a 2-lane street coming out. So if you're just ignoring the stop sign, that's an accident just waiting to happen. So I want people to understand that. I want to echo the sentiments of Councilwoman Ormond. Please slow down in your driving. I ride motorcycles, look twice, save a life. I almost got clipped a couple of times. You have these young folks, they think they're invincible. They're texting, they're driving, they think they know what they're doing and they really don't. So, I encourage everyone to put your phone down while you're driving and get there safely and be mindful of the safety of others. Yard sale, 8th Ward yard sale going on this weekend, the 21st and 22nd. Please feel free to join in. No charge, no fees. And last but not least, we have to follow the guidelines of the governor who haven't fully unrestricted mask wearing indoors in the state of New Jersey. So let's just be mindful of that and respect those wishes. And that concludes my report, Council President. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman Blaine. Councilman Medina?
Thank you, Council President. I apologize. Had my windows minimized here a little bit. While I was typing my wish list to Assistant our Engineer Joe Krolback and Jerry Bishop. So I was trying to get out last night, but I didn't get a chance to. But I'll have a quick report for tonight, Council President. I just want to touch on a couple of public safety issues and quality of life concerns, coming to some of the same stuff I talk about every month, but I feel that they're important and whatnot. As my colleagues mentioned earlier in their report, with this warm weather and whatnot, you're gonna have a lot more kids out. So I'm just trying to encourage folks to just take it easy on our roads. We seem to have a few individuals or drivers that are they're being super reckless on DeWitt, Summit, and Orchard. When you live on one of these 3 streets and you're blessed to live on one of these streets, I guess, which is a 13-block stretch that connects with St. George and Raritan, folks will tend to misbehave, so to speak. Seen a couple of sports vehicles that were just recently acquired, some younger drivers behind them, just opening up full throttle on Orchard and Summit. I confronted this individual and it was basically just a laugh in my face. There's no cops and whatnot. Our police department, they're doing an amazing job. They really are. With COVID, it doesn't make anything easier. We have other issues in the part of town. I was speaking to my colleague, Councilwoman Caldwell, about I was actually exposed to the situation there on Washington Street, which I know is the first ward. So I really do sympathize with Councilwoman Caldwell and Councilwoman Ormond and trying to get that enforcement. That is a total nightmare what they got going on over there. So, but I am going to be pushing for, patrols and enforcement in the 9th Ward. It's just, Sunnyside is just too large of an area for one patrol car. I just don't understand Why is that always been that way? Again, I'm very grateful and thankful for our police department tackling the issues throughout our city, being very proactive and reactive to situations. But I'm going to put a little bit of pressure. You know, the folks here want to see our police department. They want to see them go up and down our streets. They also want to feel safe. Things happen. Criminals they know where to go. You know, these people know where to go. They know where the areas that are not really heavily focused, and that's where they go to kind of do their thing. So these people are not stupid. So I'm gonna just encourage our police department with, you know, the support of this governing body. Every community deserves to be protected in the same way, same level. Again, we, you know, don't have many issues as the other communities. But you know, we're all taxpayer here in the city of Linden, and we all deserve to feel safe. So just wanted to put that out there. A lot of folks reach out to me constantly on this topic, the speeding and whatnot. And again, I try to reassure them you're not forgotten. We're trying to tackle other issues, but we are coming around. I know a few months ago, we did the Street of Week on DeWitt, which was very successful. I just put in Northwood Avenue between Raritan and Amsterdam for Street of the Week. So I'm hoping that by the time that cycles back to the 9th Ward, that street will be enforced. I also reached out to the Union County Police Chief and the Commissioner and Director of Public Safety over in the county. I have requested another round of enforcement on Raritan Road and also Northwood Avenue, since it's county road, to assist and tackle the speeding and bad behavior and distracted driving issues on that stretch of road. They did a great job. Every time I reach out to them, they do a great job. And they're also limited in resources, but I am very thankful and grateful, and also the people that they come out and they actually enforce those two roads. On the other hand, I can never get Roselle to cooperate, but maybe I'll ask the mayor to kind of reach out. Maybe he could help out with that piece. But besides that, again, super nice weather today. A lot of kids are out. Our community is growing. We have so many small children. So I ask folks to be considerate. Do not litter. Pick up after yourself, your dog. Help keep our parks clean. Which leads me, I guess I'll send an email to Councilman Blanks. He's part of that committee. We installed brand new backboards in Paul Workmeister's Park, formerly known as Sunnyside Park. And I did not see anti-litter marketing material on those backboards, because at the end of the day, if you go to any of our basketball courts, they're filthy. There's literally cans 4 to 5 feet away from benches, and everything is left on the ground. It's super annoying, and it's so frustrating. But again, I'll probably be asking for this next year and in the year after for some anti-litter campaign material on those backboards. But you know, it seems to be falling on deaf ears. Not important, I get it. But for me, it is. Besides that, got a couple, you know, all tree complaints and whatnot has been addressed. DPW, they're awesome as always. And everyone here in the city of Linden, they do a great job of providing great service to our residents. So again, thank you so much. And anyone has any questions, 908-986-6100. You can text me there, call, or email me at amedina@linden-nj.org. That concludes my report, Council President. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Councilman Medina. Councilwoman Hickey?
Thank you, Council President. First, I want to thank the Finance Committee. Last month, I expressed some concerns, as the members of our Office of Emergency Management had concerns as well with the vehicles they were driving. I met with Councilman Barry Javik, Councilwoman Lisa Orman, and also Mrs. Zach. And I thought it was a really great meeting. Chief Hart was there, and one of our best hidden secrets in Linden, Kathy Colgan, was there, just to reassure everybody and give all the documentation of the conditions of our vehicles. As you know, our Office of Emergency Management does save a lot of money and frees up some of our police and firemen. So I don't want them to be unappreciated, and I want them to be safe as well. As far as buildings and grounds go, the reports are pretty much the same as last month. We're working on our parks continuously. We're making upgrades to parks and fixing the buildings, et cetera, et cetera. Let's see. Last night, well, it wasn't just last night, but recently we've been having a problem with around School 9, Kent Place. We have some.
Councilwoman, excuse me, you got some feedback on yours? Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Called the husband.
I understand.
Just saying. So anyway, there was very profane words written very largely in the street, more than twice. There's been lots and lots of garbage left around there. I'd like to thank DPW for continuously going out on these calls. Dave Martinez, I contact him and he's been wonderful. You know, it's unfortunate that we have to waste taxpayers' dollars to send out a sewer truck at nighttime to wash out the roads due to profane language written all over. I just stress to the residents, please, if you see something, say something. I can't understand how no one saw anybody writing these large profane words in the street. I mean, you know, somebody had to see it. So I've also requested, along with Councilman Medina, that we step up our patrols. We haven't seen any police in our neighborhood. And believe me, I know there's a lot of hard work that they entail and very important situations, but it's hard to maintain our communities without police presence, even though most of the time, these younger kids, they don't even get in trouble. But I do believe they need to be brought home to their parents like the good old days so they know at least what is going on. Several roads in the 10th Ward have finally been paved. Thank you for your patience. I knew we would get there sooner or later. On June 5th and June 6th, we will be getting out a flyer soon for yard sales. I know I've had some residents requesting them, so I am working on that. Let's see. I love looking on Facebook and seeing all the graduates the past couple of days and the proud parents and how the hard work is finally paid off and also lets up a little bit of money as well. So congratulations to all of them. And all the beautiful Mother's Day posts were amazing as well. If anybody does need sidewalks, please give me a call, 908-347-4548. And lastly, Iose Park. I've received many calls from the residents in the towers, Linden Housing Authority. Whoever worked on Iose Park did an amazing job. The residents in those buildings are very, very happy and they did a great job. And unfortunately, lastly, I just have to mention earlier, you know, the comments and everything that were made and passed and people talking over each other. I just want to let you know that I would never want anybody to lose their home or lose their assets due to litigation for being a council member in our community. I wished I would have been a little aware of the situation, what was going on, and how to actually vote today or not vote due to the fact that I do own a home and I have assets, and I didn't know that I was in jeopardy or my family was in jeopardy of losing them due to this lawsuit. I wasn't notified by anybody. So I know we're all named defendants in that lawsuit. So it's quite concerning to me that I can lose things that I've worked so hard for due to the fact that I was just trying to be a councilwoman and represent our residents in a good way. With that being said, I hope everyone has a nice Memorial Day weekend. And thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Okay. Great. Councilman Blaine, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I just want to correct Councilman Medina, let him know that the backboards in the parks are part of Buildings and Grounds Department, not Parks and Recreation. So I just make a comment.
Okay. Councilwoman Caldwell?
I just wanted to congratulate my niece, Kiara Fish. She graduated from my alma mater, Delaware State University, magna cum laude in public relations. She pledged Delta Sigma Theta, and I'm very proud of her. And I meant to mention that in the report earlier.
Okay, Councilwoman Cosby?
Yes, so I'm nauseous and I need to be excused.
You're excused. Okay, I'm going to move on to my report. Okay, we have from the Mayor's Youth Commission, the class of 2021 have been faced with many challenges this school year due to the pandemic. Classes have been virtually. Students have not been able to participate fully in extracurricular activities. The class of 2021 will have an in-person graduation, but with restrictions still in place. The Mayor's Youth Commission cannot host a traditional overnight event, also known as BASH. This year, the mayor and the Mayor's Youth Commission are planning a post-graduation barbecue on June 26, 2021, from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. The celebration will consist of continuous food, music, swimming, basketball, soccer, and other activities. If you would like to help support the celebration, donations are being accepted on the city website, or you can mail your donations to the Mayor's Youth Commission, 301 Northwood Avenue, Linden. Attention, Sandy Jackson. I also have a couple of announcements for the Hawk Rise summer plans. There's the Nature's Palette Hike at Hawk Rise on Saturday, June 5th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. The New Jersey Audubon will take you on, will help you learn about some of the ways colors are important in nature. You could take a hike and have some fun with nature's crayons. This program is open to families with children of all ages. They ask that you please wear sturdy shoes and be prepared to get your hands dirty, and pre-registration is required. Okay, Hawk Rise goes batty on Friday, July 23rd from 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. This is a special evening program where you can learn all about bats and their many important roles in nature. You will bust some common myths about these fascinating but misunderstood animals and discuss some of the ways we can help protect them. As the sun will be going down, you will head out on a trail and try to pick up their echolation calls with our bat detector. There is nothing quite like a nature walk at night, so come get batty with us. This program is open to all. Again, please wear your steady shoes and bring a flashlight, and pre-registration is required. The cost is free for both of these. And the last one is the Summer Story Walk at Hawk Rise on Saturday, August 14th at 10 a.m. Bring a book to life by reading in a unique environment. Take a story walk at Hawk Rise Sanctuary and discover this wonderful park in a whole new way. While reading the story, we will make discovery stops and have some hands-on fun. Okay, this program is appropriate for families and children ages 2 to 6. Pre-registration is also required. You can find this information on the website. It will be listed there on the city website, and the cost again for all of these is free. I just also want to make mention about our council meetings. Okay, it depends to be promoted into the panelist list during public comment portion. You have to have special capabilities on your phone or tablet. If you are able to, it automatically, our IT department does not have you appear on screen. They unmute your microphone and it automatically promotes someone into the panel, but it depends on the capability of the device they are using. So just so everyone is aware of that, we're not picking and choosing who comes in as a panelist to be seen on during our public comment portion. Okay, Mayor?
Yes, good afternoon. Good evening, everyone. Okay.
Yes.
First of all, thank you all for your reports this evening. I'm going to start out this evening with the information on vaccination clinics. So in conjunction with Super Health Pharmacy, we'll be hosting two upcoming COVID-19 vaccination clinics, one on Friday, May 21st, and one Thursday, May 27th. For all persons 12 plus, Pfizer and Moderna vaccines can be administered. I just want to also let you know that we did have one vaccination date a few weeks back at the Powell Building where we administered Pfizer and Moderna. It was a complete success. And we also had a vaccination event at the First Baptist Church, which was this past Sunday. I would like to personally thank Dr. Dumas and the volunteers from First Baptist for helping to make this a successful event. We did have a few glitches in our program that day and that we were hoping to have Pfizer and Moderna. Unfortunately, they only had Moderna, and that prohibited some of the 16-year-olds who were scheduled to be vaccinated. So, you know, as anything, with any event or any type of operation, there are some problems that will occur, and we'll do everything humanly possible to try to rectify them so that we don't have the same problems going forward. But once again, this Friday, May 21st, from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock, we will be having the vaccination clinic at the PAL, that's 400 Maple Avenue in Linden. And also Thursday, May 27th, we'll be having Pfizer and Moderna again at the PAL building. I'd like to thank Super Fresh and their pharmacy for helping us with that effort. Some other good news that we'd like to share with the community is our new Taco Bell is up and running at the Legacy Square Shopping Center, which was our former General Motors property. So if you're in the mood for tacos or burritos, I encourage you to take a trip down and try our new Taco Bell. Now, if any of you guys who were traveling on Wood Avenue this week, you'll notice that our farmers market is up and running again. So our weekly farmers market is back up every Saturday between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. You can come down in front of City Hall if you like some fresh produce. The farmers market is going to run all the way through October 30th. Again, every Saturday between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. Recreation news. Summer camps will begin on June 28th and end August 19th. And it's open to all children entering kindergarten to 6th grade. This is an 8-week program. It runs Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. The cost for summer camp is $450, which includes an 8-week program, a Linden Recreation Day Camp t-shirt, and insurance. And it should be duly noted that the kids will be going on trips on Fridays to various locations. This is an excellent program that's been in existence for some time now. I encourage families who have young children to participate in this program. My children are a little too old for it right now, but they benefited tremendously from these programs. I encourage all, if you have the time, if you have the ability to register to enroll your children at such a nominal fee. Great news for those of you who are working. We're having what we call After Work Wednesdays. It's going to be starting tomorrow evening. In conjunction with the SID, which is the Special Improvement District, we're now offering an After Work Wednesday show. We'll be featuring house music and jazz performances every Wednesday at the Promenade, again, starting tomorrow between 4 p.m. and 9 p.m. through mid-September. I hope to see as many of you there as possible, and I'm sure it's going to be a great event. Some other good news, Serena's Deli. Linden's very own Serena Polish Deli was ranked number 22 on the best delis in New Jersey list by an NJ.com. Serena's Polish Deli is an authentic Polish delicatessen and grocery store located at 1117 West St. George Avenue. The deli offers amazing cuisine and has a variety of products. We're proud to have them here in Linden, so go try it out. Congratulations on your big win. I will say one thing. they have a tremendous stuffed cabbage. I mean, it tastes as good as my mother's. And I don't know where my mother learned to cook stuffed cabbage from, but she sure can cook a mean stuffed cabbage, and it tastes very similar to Serena's. And I would encourage you, if you like stuffed cabbage, give it a try. And those of you who like pierogies and anything else that's Polish, I say give that a try also. But they have a variety of food. It's not just Polish food that's there, and it's no surprise to me why they were ranked number 22 in the state. So speaking of 22, on April 22nd, Phillips 66 joined the city of Linden, conserve wildlife, enviroscapes, and community members to clean up trash and debris that had collected in the recently established floodplain restoration and rain garden areas in the Trimley Point section of Linden. And if you don't know about the Trimley Point section, that's the 7th Ward. That's Ralph Strano's ward. I'd like to thank Councilman Strano, along with Councilman Javik, who were there and assisted with the cleanup of those rainforests. So we did a great job. They did a great job down there, and they took time out of their busy schedules to participate. Now, yesterday, Sunday, May 16th, we celebrated the Haitian Independence Day, and we had a flag-raising ceremony in front of City Hall. Now, we have a very large Haitian population here in Linden, and we're happy to celebrate the significance of their freedom. We always say, in the spirit of Jean-Jacques Dessalines and Toussaint, and we hope that that spirit of freedom will not only be here in Linden, but throughout the world. And I hope that one day that all nations and all people will realize the importance of freedom, and maybe we won't have to have insurrection or rebellions to have freedom. Maybe governments around the world will say, hey, freedom is something that every human being deserves. But anyway, the example they set in obtaining their freedom should be commended, and we celebrate them in their efforts to become free. Next thing I want to do is thank a person by the name of Judge Sybil Elias. Judge Sybil Elias gave me a call a few weeks ago, indicating that she had a connection to get some food here to our food bank. So Sybil Elias is associated with a group called For My City. It's a nonprofit organization that's responsible for helping communities that are facing food insecurity. I want to thank her for her generous donation to the city of Linden. We received on 2 occasions over 700 boxes of food, which we targeted the senior population at the Dill Avenue complex, the Passaic Avenue and Cranford Avenue complex, and as well as some other areas in town where we know that we have seniors. We were also able to give some of the boxes to Roselle and Rawway. So we want to thank her for all her efforts. We really appreciate it. We don't know how much longer it's going to occur, but we were thankful for the 2 visits that she did make. So I want to say last but not least, but I do have a few more things. The reopening of the city. In anticipation of Governor Murphy's loosening up of COVID restrictions on May 19th, we here in the city of Linden opted to reopen all our city buildings to the public on Tuesday, June 1st. Now this gives us some time to look at some of the logistical aspects that we'll have to deal with in reopening. While we'd like to open on the 19th with everybody else, we're going to give ourselves a few extra days to work out the details and make sure that when we do open, that we'll have all our I's dotted and our T's crossed. So we look forward with great anticipation to returning to some sense of normalcy. I'm going to ask you to all please enjoy your Memorial Day weekend with your families, even though I do have some other information I want to disseminate as well. Okay, in person, okay. The Mayor's Youth Commission post-graduation ceremonies on 6/26 from 12 to 5 p.m. As mentioned by my council president, food, music, and other activities will occur. I want to thank everyone who volunteered for this event, but most importantly, and I think that my hat goes off to those who were prepared in the event that there was not a graduation and that there was not a barbecue for our kids. They were prepared to do what we did last year, and that was to give the kids a graduation at the airport once again, if we couldn't have a normal closure to our school year this year. So I want to thank my staff, my Rebecca Kearns Toling, Sandy Jackson, and my Mayor's Youth Commission for being prepared to do the same thing we did last year. Paul Dudley, who runs the airport, for being prepared if these children could not have a graduation like they were scheduled to have one last year, for being prepared to do it again, you know. And it's delightful to know that we have people like that in our city who are willing to go above and beyond to make sure that our children have all they deserve after spending 12 years in high school. I want to say last but not least, but I still have some additional stuff here, okay? We talked about the vaccination clinics that we had the Sunday, 3 weeks ago, and the two that are coming up. Now, unfortunately, we weren't able to utilize our nurses that we have here in the city of Linden. And that's because there is a statute that reads that municipal locations must have a per diem or contracted physician to run clinics and write standing orders and oversee audits as needed when you have vaccinations. Well, to that end, I'm very happy to announce that I've reached out to Dr. Schulman, Joey Schulman, very good friend and a lifetime Linden resident, and he's agreed that he will be the per diem contracted physician to run clinics and write standing orders that will oversee our audits as needed. We are seeking a pediatrician as well. I will be having a meeting tomorrow with a local pediatrician, and I'm confident that this pediatrician will take the same approach and will agree to cooperate with us in our endeavors to provide vaccinations to our young people. So that's what I have to say here. Okay. Last but certainly not least, I'll be the first to admit that I was blindsided this evening by the motion of Councilman Alfred Muhammad. Okay. I had hoped that we would find resolution to our differences a lot sooner. When he decided to make a motion for the release of the report, he requested to make it public because it was paid for by the taxpayers. And he felt like it was appropriate to have some transparency with regards to what had occurred here. He mentioned he was appalled by the report, okay? And he mentioned that he was confident that it would further deter the abuses of the public trust. I'd like to talk about the firm that did the report. The report was done by a law firm called Calcagni. Now, Calcagni, the credentials of his law firm are impeccable. And his firm is comprised of former prosecutors who work for the U.S. Attorney General's office. And it lended serious credibility to their findings. Councilman Muhammad talked about what happened to Senator Wayne Bryant. Well, these are the same people who tried and convicted Senator Wayne Bryant, who served prison time. So I don't think there's any question about the credibility of this group, this law firm. I just want people to know, and I mentioned this at the last council meeting, where unfortunately, when I went to talk about this whole Calcagni report, unfortunately, Councilwoman Cosby left the meeting, and Councilman Roman left the meeting, and they did not hear what I had to say. And that was that the truth is a defense. And as you all know, we were accused of a number of things that are going to be litigated against us. And as was discussed earlier, the possibility of losing your home, the possibility of losing your assets is on the table. I worked hard to have my home. I have children who live in my home. I have children who have to go to college. I mean, I have a 14-year-old. So we're talking about 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. I got at least 8 more years that they need to have a roof over their head. So this is serious when you're being sued. And anyone who doesn't take it serious, I don't know what to tell you. I take it serious. There's many a night I haven't slept. I would wake up in the middle of the night and my wife would ask me, "What are you doing up?" And I said, "I got a lot on my mind." Because I do. The whole notion, the prospect of losing your home is terrifying. The fact that someone would initiate a lawsuit is terrifying in that. And I do think that things will play out well, but I do think that every one of these defendants has a right to provide information to their attorneys so they can defend themselves. I did everything humanly possible to make sure this report stayed in-house and it wouldn't find its way to the public, in the hopes that there would be a reasonable approach to the problems that we were encountering. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem like we made too much progress in that effort. And aside from that fact, the people who are defending us are saying, "Listen, don't ask me to defend you if you're not going to provide me with the tools to defend you with." And so I do understand Councilman Alfred Muhammad's concern about having that report, and I do understand the rationale behind the reasoning for those of you who did vote for that report to be released to their attorneys. What I don't understand is how some feel that we are supposed to not provide this information for our own defense, and that's deeply troubling. It's deeply troubling. That concludes my report, Council President.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Okay, we're now going to move on to resolutions. Okay, we have resolutions 2021-94 through 2021-216. Okay. Councilman Strano?
Yes, Council President. Yeah, I was waiting for my cue.
Go ahead.
So in resolution number 2021-210, there are 2 blanks there. And per Councilman Roman's request, the first day should be 6/12 and the second day should be 6/13 of 2021. So please be noted that if you're looking at the resolutions. And I move resolutions number 2021-194 through 2021-214, and I request a second.
216.
Second.
216, Councilman.
Oh, that's right. We had the 2 add-ons at the end. My 216, please, and ask for a second.
Second.
Council President, discussion, polls.
Councilman Roman?
I wanted to pull 210, but also you said up to 216. So my agenda that I was sent at about 4 p.m. is still accurate. The final resolution is a resolution urging support of A 5450.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Bodak. I'd just like to pull 210 for discussion.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Council President. I pulled this because I figured there's a chance for me to be cut off with a strict 5-minute time limit to all the members of this body who are not in the majority. So I wanted to speak strictly to the 6 warders here
Resolution 210 is designating the waiving of fees of our 6th Ward garage sale, similar to what we've done in the past. Usually it's in September. We're going to do it by request of some residents in June this year. It's going to be June 12th, June 13th. So it's that weekend, the second weekend in June. So just please know that your fees are waived. It's usually about 30 or 40 garage sales in the 6th Ward. I hope everyone could participate. Thank you, Council President.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Okay.
Mrs. Ormond?
Hang on. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I'd like to say yes to all items, but abstain on, hang on, I want to abstain on resolution 195, item DD, and yes to everything else.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
I would like to say yes to everything except to item 195 EE. I abstain to that.
Mohammed? Mr. Mohammed?
Go ahead, Mohammed.
Yes,
Go ahead. Do it again.
yes to all with the exceptions of 195 DD.
What's?
It's not, he didn't take a test. He's
Okay.
not, it just.
All right. Okay.
Point proven.
Roman?
Yes to all with the, I will abstain on 195.
Strano?
Yes to all.
Blaine?
Yes, and I will abstain on 195.
Medina?
Is he still there?
Is Councilman Medina still in the meeting?
Oh.
I don't see him.
Okay.
I will mark him absent. Mrs. Hickey?
Yes to all, abstain on 195, please.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes to all, and I vote yes on resolution number 195 with the exception of the line item number CC.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 3 that are.
Council President, I'm sorry,
Yes.
I did not record my vote. Could I not abstain completely on 195, but abstain on 195? Yes to all, but abstain from the line item that mentions my name.
Which one is it?
FF.
Thank you,
Okay.
Jen. Thank you, Deputy Clerk.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Clerk. Thank you, Council President.
You're welcome.
But Blaine should not have abstained on this.
All right.
Okay, we're good?
Yeah.
But it should go through anyway. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
change.
Thank you.
No problem, Mr. Clerk. I got you.
Okay. All right. We're gonna now move on to ordinances on first reading. Okay, starting with ordinance 6525.
An ordinance to provide for an amendment of Chapter 31 zoning regulations of the revised general ordinances of the city of Linden with the addition of a new section entitled Telecommunications Facilities in the Public Right-of-Way.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6525?
Yes, Council President, I move for introduction of ordinance number 6525 and request a second.
Second.
Ormond,
Yes.
Javik,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Mohammed, Councilman Mohammed,
Yes.
Councilman Roman,
Councilman Mohammed,
you're out of order on that. You know,
Councilman Roman,
Yes.
Strano,
Yes.
Lane,
Yes.
Medina, Hickey,
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
yes.
Yes, Councilman Mohammed vote yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Ordinance 6526.
An ordinance to amend an ordinance entitled, an ordinance establishing a schedule of titles, salary ranges, and regulations for maintaining the classification and salary standardization plan of all employees at the city of Linden, passed August 15th, 1995, and approved August 16th, 1995, adding Schedule 4 PP4.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6526, please?
Council President, I'd like to move ordinance number 6526 for introduction and request a second.
Second.
Ormond,
Yes.
Javik,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Mohammed,
Yes,
Roman,
Yes.
Strano,
Yes.
Lane,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes. Ordinance 6527.
An ordinance approving the application for a long-term tax exemption and authorizing the city of Linden to enter into a financial agreement with CenterPoint Linden Plaza Urban Renewal LLC for property identified on the official tax map of the city of Linden, known as Block 580, lots 13 and 14.
Okay, could we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6527, please?
Yes, Council President, I'd like to make a motion to introduce ordinance number 6527 and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond? Councilwoman Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
yes,
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Lane?
Yes.
Medina? Hickey?
No.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes. Okay, we're gonna now move on to the public comment portion of the meeting on city business only. No personal, political, or derogatory comments, not to exceed 3 minutes. Members of the public who may be attending
mute now.
are on mute until this portion of the meeting. If you wish to be recognized, please use the raise hand icon in the program to identify yourself. You will then give your name and address as at any council meeting.
You can mute.
Failure to do so will result in your being muted and not recognized further. If you are registered more than once, you will only be recognized to speak one time under your first registration, as with any council meeting. When the public comment is open, the ability to register will be closed. Okay, so anyone from the public who wishes to speak, please use your raised hand icon now. Okay. Okay. Diane Wilverding.
She may be calling one of your phones.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Okay, Diane Wilverding. She's back in. Okay. Diane Wilverding. She was.
Council President, looks like she was booted off.
No. What's happening is when they're recognizing her to move her in so she could speak, It disappeared.
Oh, I see her now, Joe.
Yes. Diane Wilverding? Let's see if maybe she would call, like she did last time.
Maybe she can.
Okay.
Contact her.
There she is. Diane?
Yes, I'm having
Yes.
a problem again with the audio.
IT is saying your software is not up to date, okay? I'm gonna put you on speakerphone.
Okay, my neighbor came over for an hour to update his stuff.
Okay.
Diane, Council President. Council President, Diane, if you have your council meeting on the background, the mics will echo. So just turn the volume down on the council meeting when you're speaking.
Okay, Diane?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on speakerphone. Go ahead. State your name and
Okay.
address for the record.
Okay, couple things. Last
Diane, could
time
you just
I
state
talked
your
about-
address for the record?
Oh, Diane Wolverding.
Council President. I'm sorry, Diane, I'm sorry.
Can
we just explain?
Diane? Could you turn down the volume on the meeting because it's giving feedback on the microphone?
Thank you, Council President. I'll walk down Linden to get to Diane in 2 minutes if I got it.
Now?
Yes, we can hear you. That's better.
Okay, because I just turned the whole thing off. I'll just
Okay.
talk by phone.
All right, that's better.
Last month I had talked about, the train station and fixing up different things. And I saw they had done the promenade, which I had complimented, but the train station, that should be one of the first things done. That should have been done in April because we have so many people using the train station. It's on Wood Avenue. There are two gentlemen that are fairly new, about a year, that worked maybe a year or two ago on the library garden there, and they know plants. If they work, because the library is also another spot, as you well know, that needs help. Next week, after a good rain, you send those two gentlemen, they clean out the weeds from that garden bed in front of the railing of the library. It would take them just the morning, and then go over to the train station and please put some plants in. By the signs, we need some color there, and also on the southbound, when you come down the steps, I see the weeds were pulled, but it's blah. It needs something, and the train station is pretty important in our town. This is supposed to be a transit hub. What do they call it? Commuter village or whatever. That's one thing. Second thing, last month, Mayor talked about butterfly gardens, which I think were great. I'm just hoping that he's still going to continue with that project. And I was thinking maybe to put in this summer 2 gardens, one end of town and the other end of town in parks. And maybe Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts, Eagle Scouts can use that as their project. But you would have to get in touch with Rutgers because they're the ones that would recommend the kind of plants that butterflies are attracted to. Of course, it's a butterfly plant, but milkweed, but there's other things, and they would be the best resource. Street of the Week. I'm not sure I understand what that program is about, but right now it's on Style Street. And let me tell you, the trucks are still coming down. I could sit on my front porch, and this big truck came around the corner from Style Street in front of my house to cut over on Carteret to get to Linden Avenue. They tore a big branch down from my one tree. It's still going on. So I wish a police officer would be parked there for a couple hours and give them tickets. I even saw those carriers where you cart the cars on. One went down Carteret facing like it's going to Linden Avenue. Another one was coming around the corner. I couldn't believe how they could squeeze past each other. It's really getting ridiculous. If this is Street of the Week, we need something done about that. Mr. Roman, I need a tree now. DPW did a great job cutting down that tree that was mutilated by the utilities and also that truck that came around and took off a big branch. They did a wonderful job of coming back and getting some of the shredded bark that was laying there. And I just bought dirt. I'm going to level it out so it will be ready for a tree at any time. And last the SIDS did a program where you could, between April 15th and May 15th, I believe it was, and there were 27 restaurants, and if you accumulated $100 in receipts, you could pick either a $50 Visa card or a $100 gift card at a particular restaurant. I participated in that. I got mine for a falafel restaurant. I thought it was a great idea and a great program. But can someone explain to me about the street of the week?
Okay, Chief Hart?
The street of the week is picked by council people. They pick a street in their ward. We have to rotate around. We have a height unit under the traffic bureau, high intensity traffic enforcement. Council people pick what the complaints that they're getting within their wards, whether it's speeding or stop signs or careless driving. And then it gets put on a list, and then we rotate it around throughout the city, and we have enforcement there for 1 week. We're on Woodlawn Avenue today. I don't have the statistics yet, how many tickets were issued. There's traffic issues all over the city. It's going to be, I could sit a cop on every street and have issues all year round. We obviously can't sit on every street. The 6th Ward has been an ongoing issue with light traffic. The more truck traffic we have in this city, the more trucks you're going to see on Route 1. And it's just an ongoing issue. It's going to linger for years and years. We'll try to enforce anything we can over there. I hear your complaint, Mr. Wilberdink, and I'll bring it up at the command meeting this week about the light traffic complaints over in the 6th Ward, Woodlawn and Clinton, et cetera, by St. Teresa's.
Yeah, I would appreciate it because those trucks are bad and there seems to be more trucks coming through. And I will be thrilled when we have an in-person meeting so I don't have to deal with this Zoom stuff. But thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Diane, I just want to also mention that I had received notification last week from our Public Properties Department that the 2 guys that do all the gardening and stuff were heading over to the library. I'm not sure what transpired there last week, but I could tell you that, they will be heading to the train station very shortly. So,
Okay, well, I did drive by the library this evening on my way home and nothing was done over there. And again, I am available as a resource to tell them what's there, but these 2 gentlemen know, the grass and the plants and all that.
Right.
But I'm always available to meet them and tell them, since I was there from the beginning of the library and was put on. So
I know Jerry Bishop reached out to me last week, but I don't know, they were going to contact the library director, but I don't know what transpired after that, but they are willing to go over there. So probably very shortly, you'll see some stuff done.
Okay, and it's always best right after a heavy rain. I think we're getting rain maybe Monday or something. But again, anybody needs my help to point out the plants, I'm willing to do that.
Okay, and also regarding the council chambers, last night during our council meeting, Mr. Bishop, during his report, mentioned that we are having some work done to our council chambers. Due to the fire, there was some damage in the council chambers. So right now they're running round the clock machines to try to dry it out. There was water damage in there. So they are going to be in a process of getting that repaired. So as soon as we can get back in there, we will be. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good evening.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Okay. Okay, can we have a motion to close the public comment portion of the meeting?
Mr. President, I make a motion to close the public portion of the meeting.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed? Roman?
Yes.
Toronto?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Hickey?
Yes.
Mrs. Yamakitis?
Yes. Mr. Antonelli?
Yes, thank you, Council President. Could everybody hear me?
Yes.
So I just had some communication with our city clerk, and we just wanted some clarification that the resolution that Councilman Mohammed proposed earlier this evening concerning the release of the report, we just need some clarification. Is that a resolution to release the report to the attorneys that will be representing the individual defendants in the litigation, or is that to release the report to anyone. I
To
thought
the
initially,
attorney, to me and to my attorney.
okay, so,
I will receive it and give it to my attorney.
okay, so it's not to the general public, just to the attorneys only in the litigation.
Dan?
Councilman.
Attorney privileges.
Thank you, Dan. Hey, Dan, if it was announced that it should be.
I'm waiving my client attorney privileges. Or to defend myself in the court of public opinion, since I'm defend that.
Yeah, Dan?
Go ahead, Councilman.
Thank you, sir. Legally, for the record and for the council, if it was announced and read and voted on that it would be announced to public, it can't just be changed verbally right now. Is that correct?
Well, that's what I'm saying, but I'm just trying to get some clarification.
I think it was read to the public.
And that's just it. So, I mean, if that's the case, then perhaps a motion could be made to amend the resolution to indicate it's for attorneys only, not to the public. Because that was the confusion that came in. I think initially it was proposed as a release to the public, but then there was some follow-up comments from others that it was for the attorneys only.
I waive my attorney-client privileges. They can be released.
That doesn't solve the problem.
Yeah, Councilman Muhammad, the issue is not the attorney-client privilege. It's just that the resolution, from what I recall and in my communications with the city clerk, that it was a resolution to authorize the release of the report essentially to the public, but that's not what I'm hearing. And then there were some follow-up comments from the mayor that it pertained to releasing the report to the attorneys in the litigation. And so we're just needing some clarification because I think it was to the public. And if that's correct, then perhaps you can make a motion to amend the resolution to specifically state that it's to release the report to the attorneys in the litigation. And someone could second that and then vote on that.
Advice of my attorney, I have no comments.
Okay. Councilwoman Hickey, you have your hand up.
Dan, I'm just still a little confused and caught off guard by this all tonight. And after what the mayor said regarding that we're in jeopardy of losing our homes and our assets, I'm thrown off by all this tonight. Do I need to get an attorney?
So
Council President, may I be heard?
Councilman Muhammad, I am speaking.
Yes, ma'am. I agree. I will refrain.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Councilwoman, to answer your question, there's a pending complaint by Mr. Scutari against the city of Linden, who's a named defendant, as well as former Councilman Peter Brown, Councilman Ralph Strano, Councilman Alfred Muhammad, and Mayor Derek Armstead. As to yourself and anybody else who I did not name, you are not named individually in the lawsuit.
Thank you, Dan. I was sure of that. I was just caught off guard. You know, last month I respectfully listened to every fellow council person on what they wanted to do with this report. I was not taking sides. I want to make that clear. And, you know, certainly I don't want, I need to worry about my home and my assets. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay,
Council President.
Councilman Strano.
Thank you, Council President. I would like to indicate, if I could, and if I am incorrect, I would like to be corrected. But I recall seeing that it also named various Jane Does and John Does. And if that's just boilerplate language that they put in suits of that nature, then so be it. But I see that as the way I would like to see this work is in this particular case, Councilman Mohammed is asking for release of the documentation to his attorneys for his defense. And essentially, I think that if any other person who's a defendant in this case should come across the same situation, that they should request it on a case-by-case basis as opposed to a blanket release.
Right.
My opinion.
Council President?
Yes, Councilman Roman?
Thank you, Council President. So just to relay this situation back to the public as to what happened here, I think our Councilor Antonelli asked to speak, and he wanted clarification, and so did the clerk, as to why, whether or not it was to the public or to just the attorneys. Now, it was spoken into the record as to the public, and it was voted on. So right now, this report has been released to the public, or has been voted to be released to the public. I assume that the lawyer is in charge of actually when that gets released to the public. He asked publicly, as to the mayor's comments, would you like, Mr. Mohammed, would you like to push these out just to your lawyer? And Mr. Mohammed said, no. And then he said, are you sure? And he said, on the advice of my attorney, I would like to say no comment, and I'd like to keep it to the public. Now, since this discussion has continued, he has been echoed into the quiet part of his chambers, and is next going to be going back on that, tail tucked in between his legs, and he's going to say, yes, I would like it only to my lawyer, because he was wrong. And that is the right way to do it. And if I was Mayor Armstead and our team trying to course this thing the right way, that would be the way I would do it. And I think that the public should have known what is going on and how it's going to go. Thank you, Council President. I hope I'm wrong. Pray I'm wrong.
Councilman Mohammed,
Yes, Council President.
would you be able to reread that? Do you have it? Your motion?
Didn't
I
you just say
don't
they
have
want
it
to keep it?
available right with me. I had it by memory. I will speak with council. I want a copy of the report so I can give it to my attorney. That's what I need.
But it's in the record as to the public, Council President. And Mr. Council, he said he had no comment on advice of council.
No.
Councilwoman Ormond?
Can any council member make a motion to amend it?
Yes, Councilwoman Ormond.
Well, then I would like to make a motion to amend that particular item so it is only available.
Excuse me, Councilwoman Ormond. Councilman Roman, you had your opportunity to speak. Please stop interrupting. Oh, rude. Go ahead, Councilwoman Ormond.
I was under the impression that this particular document was going to be released to attorneys in order to adequately defend the people who are defendants in this particular lawsuit.
That's exactly right.
That it was not open to the public.
Councilwoman Ormond has the floor right now.
So with that being said, I would like to make a motion to amend that particular resolution so it will read that it is only for the attorneys at this point until we see fit to release it publicly. A second, please.
I will second that amendment to that resolution.
I said.
Thank you. No need to argue this. Let's just get it done.
Thank you. Council President, just point of order, real quick, a clarification from our lawyer. The verbal understanding of this was just read onto the floor until we determine to release it to the public. Does that mean that members of council can release it to the public at any time, or does another vote have to happen for it to be released to the public as per the way it was just read in?
Sure. So a couple things, right? Council previously agreed that no one was to receive the report, right? And the only ones that had the report were myself and the mayor. So this resolution, as proposed and now to be amended pursuant to Councilwoman Ormond's request, essentially now would modify that to release the report to the attorneys in the litigation who are representing the individual defendants. At this point in time,
That means nothing.
Councilman Muhammad has retained.
Mayor, please mute your microphone. Again, IT, please mute anybody that interrupts, please. Thank you. Go, Mr. Antonelli.
Councilman Muhammad has retained counsel to represent him in this action. Still waiting and discussions are continuing with the other individually named defendants. So this would only apply to the release to the attorneys in the litigation. And obviously at some future point in time, if council sees fit to release it publicly or not, that's something that could always be revisited at that point in time. I can tell you that the city clerk has received several Oprah requests, which were, in my opinion, denied properly on the basis of the fact that it's attorney-client privilege, attorney work product, and personnel. But this would just be limited to the attorneys in the litigation.
Thank you, Counselor. Appreciate that. Very thorough.
Thank you. So I believe Councilwoman Ormond made a motion, and I'm not sure if there was a second yet, because I know there was back and forth. Looks like Councilman Strano made a
I
second.
believe Councilman Strano made the second.
Council President?
I think there's a technical issue going on.
Councilwoman Ormond?
Yes.
Javik,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Mohammed,
Yes.
Roman,
Tail tucked. Abstain.
Oh, you fucking.
What did he say?
Mayor?
Mayor, I heard you.
Strano,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Hickey,
Abstain, and I'm at that word, Mayor.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes.
That wasn't me.
Okay.
It was your fourth word.
Enough. Mr. Crane, please mute the mics for a minute. Okay, we're going to move on to comments from members of the governing body. 1 minute. Anybody that wishes to be heard, please use your raised hand icon. Okay. All right. Councilman Strano?
Council President, I just failed to mention that I'd like to wish everybody a pleasant, happy Memorial Day weekend, and everybody be safe. And that I'm sure that the VFW, in coordination with the American Legion or vice versa, will be having a wreath laying ceremony. I don't know what particular day it is, but I know I'm going to be there, and it should be posted somewhere on our website when that occurs. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Councilman Javik.
I just want to wish congratulations to the Krobeck family and happy Memorial Day to everybody.
Okay. Thank you, Councilman Javik. Okay, Councilwoman Caldwell.
I just want to wish everyone a happy Memorial Day. I hope everyone mask up, stay safe, wash your hands. COVID is still here. I know they're opening up the state, but still, just wash your hands and keep your mask on. And because I know somebody very close to me that had it, and you don't want to see anybody go through that. So happy Memorial Day weekend.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Roman?
Thank you, Council President. I wanted to just reiterate, for years, I stood in front of council 10 years now, 10 years ago, and I got on council 4 years ago by the grace of God and those who given me the opportunity to serve. I've always been told by the mayor, mostly, and others, that I'm a punk boy that isn't a lawyer and should go to law school if I want to have law credentials, and also that I do what I'm told by a certain senator, certain this person. It's very clear about who does what they're told. And it's also very clear about council members that push back a little bit, that vote a certain way, but they push back and they use their minds, and they're very careful about how they vote. And that's what every council member should do, should be very careful about how they vote, so they don't have to worry about their houses getting given away because someone is leading you down a bad path, because they inevitably don't care about you. You're just there, always as one piece of the puzzle on the chessboard. I want to say happy Memorial Day to everyone, every single council member up here, every member of the 6th Ward in this city that I love. And I want a special prayer to Jamie Kaminsky and Ruthie Richardson, Tom Richardson on Jefferson, who need prayers right now in this moment. So if you're a man of faith or a woman of faith in any faith, please, Ruthie Richardson, Jamie Kaminsky, and Tom Richardson right now. Thank you, Council President. Everyone have a good night.
Hey, Councilman Blaine?
Yes, I forgot to make mention that the Senior Citizen Grab and Grow program is back into effect on Tuesday and Thursday at the JTG Center from 11:30 to 12:30. So please come out, grab your meals, and let's get that program going. Just want to wish everybody a happy Memorial Day, safe, and enjoy it with your families. Thank you.
Hey, Councilwoman Ormond.
Thank you, Councilman. I'd like to wish everybody a wonderful, healthy, and safe Memorial Day. But I also would like to say that in this business, becoming a council, as being a council person, none of us are perfect. And sometimes when we think that we're going to put something forward, we may have to come back and revisit it and make adjustments. Not to be accused of having our tail between our leg, or tail tucked between our legs. I found it to be very disrespectful. And I'm going to sit back and say, none of us are perfect. And until we become the Pope, John Francis, we need to sit back and just acknowledge that we all make mistakes. And that's why we're here. We're here to revisit and correct it. So stop judging, because like I said, none of us are perfect. I mean, maybe you are, but none of us are. So Councilman Muhammad, we know that you would like for your lawyer to have the information, and any person who needs to be defended, you are entitled to a defense that's going to hopefully prove your innocence. And it's not for any of us, especially those of us who don't have assets, to even sit back and remotely question what your motives are if you're trying to protect your assets. With that being said, once again,
They led you here.
Happy Memorial Day, and have a safe, healthy holiday. That's it.
Thank you, Councilwoman Ormond. Okay, I'd like to wish all our veterans a happy Memorial Day and thank them for their service. We wouldn't be having a Memorial Day if it wasn't for our veterans. And Councilwoman Ormond, I just want to echo your sentiments. The disrespect here by some of these council members was ridiculous tonight. Councilman Muhammad, I apologize for some of the rudeness you had to put up with tonight. It was totally uncalled for. You know, I think everybody on this council needs to look up the word respect in the dictionary. And Mayor Armstead had on here a proclamation for being a good neighbor. We lead by example here, everyone. And the nonsense, the interrupting, totally uncalled for. It's so disrespectful. I mean, I hope to see a different council here next month that knows how to respect each other and do what is right. Okay, Mayor Armstead, you have the floor.
Thank you, Council President. Again, I'd like to wish everybody a happy Memorial Day. And again, I hope we understand the importance of it. But I'll close out by saying, it is very easy to have conversation and inject. But the one thing I found difficult was buying property, owning it, keeping it, and raising children at the same time. It's a very difficult task, and some people haven't had those challenges yet, so it's very easy for them to talk about, certain issues. But I encourage all to engage in the American dream, and that's to own property and even have a child or two. I mean, just one. You know what I mean? There's enough. But I think some of these things are very core to our understanding of what life is really all about. Thank you all, and God bless you all.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Okay, council conference meeting, Monday, June 14th, 2021, 6 p.m. in the council conference room, City Hall. Meeting will be held virtually. As we had mentioned, we have damage to our council chambers, so they're in the process of being repaired. Council conference meeting prior to the council meeting, Tuesday, June 15th, 6 p.m. The meeting will be held virtually. Council meeting Tuesday, June 15th at 7 p.m. in the council chambers, City Hall. Meeting again will be held virtually. Again, we ask you to please check the city website, lindennj.gov, for directions on how to participate electronically in these meetings and for copies of the agenda. Can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Ormond,
Yes.
Davik,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Mohammed. Councilman Mohammed,
Yes.
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 Roman,
Yes.
Toronto,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Nikki,
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis.
Yes. Okay. Have a good evening, everyone.